Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Godsoe. Welcome to Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR iconic series. Sorry, got distracted there real quick. Coming to you from Michigan International Speedway for the Michigan 250 and the first race of the iconic Triple Crown. Not distracted at all. He is in the booth with me, and always an honor to have him here is Kyle Klendworth. Klendy, a track that you do so well at. We are at Michigan here. We're at a little bit longer distance than normal. We've gone to 250 laps, or 250 miles, 125 laps. Normally before, we've done races kind of in the 100 range, where the stints and everything was easy to figure out, but now we're a little bit longer, and it throws a wrench into the calculations a little bit.
Yeah, the last time we were here, we saw a bit of that strategy play out where Julian was the only driver who decided to go flat out while everyone else decided to save, and he unlapped himself and beat Edson Santos to the line. Really thrilling finish there. I think the extra distance here will make it even harder for the all-outers to deny the extra stop. I think it will be faster if you go hammer down from the get-go. I think you'll see many more people on the Altena strategy going as fast as they can all day today.
And there you see the conditions on the screen for today's 250-mile event. 81 degrees ambient, 112 for the track temperature. Humidity is pretty low for what we consider the Irish hills of Michigan in the summertime. But there you see the wind also pretty light out of the north. That should not be an issue. Possibly with track temps at that temperature, we could be looking at a bit of a pack race for a while until tire degradation becomes an issue later in the run.
Yeah, the setup's really stable. It felt really good on track. Really easy to go flat-footed in clean air, and you've got 4 usable lanes here easily. So while I don't think it will be a pack race for long, I think you'll definitely see at least groups of cars training together to maximize their fuel economy and to maximize their lap time.
And there we see Julian going to the top here with 25 seconds left to play. 2:22.4 to the top of the pole. The top 6 all in the 222 bracket. Everyone below that is 221. We'll get into the starting lineup here once we go official in about 15 seconds. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this Friday. If you enjoy the coverage of the Velocity Online Racing's VOR Iconic Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future VOR iRacing broadcasts, which if I look at the schedule, and we'll put up the B-roll right here as we are getting ready to load into the laying out of the grid on pit road. Next week is Milwaukee weekend here in the Velocity Online Racing League. We will open next Friday, same time, 4 p.m. Me and Klendy will be here at in the booth for the Milwaukee race, and then on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, we will be back in the booth together for the 250 lap race at Milwaukee in the IR18 Championship cars.
I hope Julian stole that old Highline setup that the Fixed Series used from Milwaukee, because if they have that for the race on Saturday, that'll be a riot. That raced at Milwaukee so well. I really hope that's what we get to see.
And here is the starting grid here for the Michigan 250, the first jewel in the VOR iconic Triple Crown. Julian on the pole, the speed of 2:22.4. His teammate right next to him, Liam O'Sullivan, at 2:22.2. Santos and Bonnie with a great effort. He is up there in row 2 in the 4th spot at 2:22.1. Strauss and Miller in row 3. Stout and Sinclair on row 4. Sinclair says his livery is 100% for Nigel Mansell. Get him on the camera there. And of course, Nigel does have one win here at the Michigan International Speedway when he won his maiden attempts at the Michigan 500 back in '93. Weber and Johnson back on row 5. Cole and Hesje back on row 6. Hesje, we will watch him try to come through the field. He's had some very impressive finishes here lately. Silvazzi and Pim Van Gastel back in the 7th row for 14th spot. Coker and Lovern and Orman and Ortiz. The Big O's are coming back from row 9 from the back of the pack for 17th and 18th, starting last on the grid for the worst the first challenge. And that is your starting lineup here for 250 miles, 125 laps here at Michigan International Raceway Speedway.
Don't let your eyes deceive you at home. The Orman livery looks very similar to the Sinclair one, both in color and logo placement, but they are not identical, nor are they teammates. Unless my trading paints is light to me.
No, I think it's a little bit different. Yeah, Sinclair has the black side pods. Coming to the start of this race here at Michigan. $18 cars, about a perfect size field. Anywhere between 18 and 26 here on this racetrack is about perfect. Here we go, green flag in the air.
Green, green, green.
And we are underway here at Michigan International Speedway.
First 5 are all single file, then 2x2 behind, and then another train of single file cars. There may be more cars on the fuel save strategy than I originally anticipated. Typically, at the beginning of the race like this is the best time to make a move.
And Ryan Cole in the Zindy car. He's back there in 11th spot. He gets by Silvazzi. Silvazzi, our last winner in the IR18 series in the IndyCar Championship at Watkins Glen. His second career win, looking to get develop his oval craft a little bit more and get that first oval win for himself on the IndyCar Championship. Down single file down the backstretch.
I don't know if Matthias Strauss has anything to say about it. He mixed it up off of turn 2 and got himself up a spot. Him and Carroll Stout are both pretty eager here in the front, it looks like.
I think Liam and Julian will try to hook up and pull away, and tagging along as a result is going to be Edson Santos. So you don't want to let those 3 get away from you. Ooh, get a little spicy coming off of 2.
And that's not exactly what Stout wants to see. He wants to be that 5th car in line. But I think Matthias Strauss is going to make it easy for that second pack to stay in touch for now. He's not content on riding single file.
Then is Jonas Weber. I believe I did call him Weber in the Americanized his name there. Oh, into the wall off of 2.
Maybe you should just keep calling him Weber.
Weber, yeah. And that allows Miller on the inside to get the position, and might be following him through is Bonnie, who is down 4, trying to recover a little bit. Right behind him is Matty in the Nigel Mansell special, then Silvazzi, then Johnson and Cole. Orman up 2 spots to 15th. Go ahead.
I think Alexander's not too hard pressed with the track position he's in. I think he knows a thing or two about planning. So,
Orman purple lap that time by himself back there in 15th. Miller around Stout. Now Stout to the high side at the start-finish line. Whoa, getting crowded there coming off of 2. Strauss comes up, lends a little bit of the draft to, I don't know if he was trying to lend a little bit of draft to Miller or not, but gave him some. I think he might be trying to control that second line behind him and allow himself to get hooked up in this top 4 and kind of pull away. We're going to go
Miller
3 wide at the
line there.
Yeah, we're going to go 3 wide at the start-finish line.
And this is exactly what I was talking about in the pre-race, about having 4 usable lanes in the turns, right? Oh, someone's off track back there. That's Jesper. Arrow push off of turn 2.
Let's watch that again. Let's see what happens.
The concrete.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be okay.
Let's see if it's possibly terminal or not. You think he's going to be okay, and I'm going to take your word for it, but he washes up, and a big arrow wash. No tools in these cars, and that's a pretty good lick right there. To the inside.
Oh, another one. It's Alexander Miller. Oh, he's done. Terminal. Same thing that happened to Jesper.
And let's go back a little bit further. And again, he's in the draft. He's worked his way up to 4th at this point, but he's in the draft there of Edson Santos, and that is not a good place to be. Strauss is on the high side of him. We'll see how Strauss avoids this. He did a good job at avoiding it, but bam, right up into the wall. And not once, but the second lick is what got him right there. And the former winner here in the series has looked like he is done for the day, as he's going to wheel that car around the pit road and retire.
Kenzie Johnson just put a bold move on Carroll Stout, moving himself up to 6th. He started 10th. Look at him get through the field. Stout says not so fast. Crosses it back over on 4.
That is a good move right there, and he's going to have the high line and the fast way down the backstretch.
Sinclair's like, I didn't even pay for a ticket to this show. This league was free. You guys are doing this right in front?
Let's jump in the Matty's car here and check out what it looks like over his shoulder here. At 223 miles an hour going in the high line in turns 1 and 2. Down at 18 degrees of banking here at Michigan International Speedway. Down the backstretch in the draft. Here I'm switching up to the 6th gear. Down the 5th as he helps the car rotate in the corners. No tools at his disposal. Oh, I think Mackenzie Johnson might have smacked the wall, or at least kissed it a little bit coming off of 4. That's going to allow Sinclair to get a run on the bottom side.
Here comes Bonnie. They're 3 wide.
Here comes Bonnie indeed. Oh,
so close.
And the ad blocker on Sinclair's right front there, you see, has got a little bit of scuff on it. And Silvazzi just sends it on the bottom.
What a show, gentlemen. What a show. Ortman going 3 wide now, past Lovren and Coker.
So obviously the hit to the wall for him not inhibiting him much in the way that we've seen some of the other cars hit the wall. So he is moving on up. Moved Jesper to 13th. He's up 4 spots. Your biggest gainer of the day is Silvazzi, who we just saw in the last in-car just send it to the inside. He is up 6th to 7th. Whoa, Brazilian slide right in front of Silvazzi by Johnson. I'm sure Silvazzi's not going to like that. Silvazzi, did he inside? He will send it into 3 and get the position, possibly even return the slide job. There we go. Give the dirty air right to Mackenzie. Mackenzie will have to deal with it just like Silvazzi did. A little bit further back, Daniel Hesje in that yellow car. He has moved himself up to 11th. Meanwhile, up front, still leading and kind of pulling away a little bit, is Liam O'Sullivan. Teammate 2, Julian Altena, sitting back there in the number 1 in P3. Edson Santos in P2. Matthias Strauss, he is in P4. The top 4 have kind of started to pull away. Jonas Weber is all by himself in 5th. And really, we're going to bring up the gaps here. Jonas is in a position where he cannot lose any more ground. He's almost a second and a half behind Strauss, and that puts him well out of the draft envelope in these cars.
Yeah, unlike the IR18, which the draft envelope goes a second and a half, maybe 1.7 seconds behind the leading car. This car, you're lucky to get 1 second, maybe 1 1/10 on that air bubble that the car in front of you punches into the wake for you to suck up behind. And Silvazion back, they're just not really working together, right? And that's why this gap to the leaders has grown almost to 4 seconds.
Oh, Orman right in front of Gary Lovern. Coming to lap 18 of 125. Thanks for joining us. Happy Friday, everybody. Here comes Edson Santos. Edson does not seem to be in a big hurry. He's willing to hold on to his position at the moment. We've seen Edson do this a number of times as he very much works on fuel mileage. If there's another driver this side of Craig Forsyth that we see in this league a lot, that really works on sharpening the craft when it comes to fuel, it's Edson Santos. You can add his name very high on that list.
Yeah, and Edson really likes to play with the amount of fuel in the car that he puts in on
pit
each
road.
stint. He likes to minimize the time on pit road, yeah. It's like his secret weapon. He's like, I'm going to come out a gallon short and figure out how to save it.
Yeah,
Stout and Weber might be.
Let's go back to
together.
that one. Yep, let's go back to that one right now. And Stout needs, or excuse me, Weber needs this because he was by himself for a while.
It's hard to tell if they're going tit for tat. I watched Barney the Dinosaur growing up. I don't know if anyone else did, but they had a song. It was like, I like you, you like me. But it's like, I'll slide you, you'll slide me around the track so merrily.
That is well after my day. I'm more of a won't you be my neighbor type of guy.
Oh yeah, I watched Mr. Rogers.
This is called drafting children. Lap 21 of 125. No trolley here. Liam O'Sullivan, no Land of Make Believe is your leader. He's currently being dogged by Edson Santos at the moment. Julian Altena is in third, but Strauss is starting to make a run of it here for the third spot on the podium.
Yeah, I don't know if Altena has switched to saving fuel or if he burned his stuff up, but Strauss has been dogging him here. It really seems like he wants to get by, or at least stay as close as possible to his rear wing, just to be in that biggest hole of air as he can be.
Been a while since IndyCar has actually been here last. The track record, well, there are two of them. Of course, you have the big old turbocharged kart cars that stopped coming here. But Paul Tracy holds that track record at 234.9. Normally aspirated engines of the IRL series when they came here is Thomas Schechner with a speed of 222.4. I believe he set that even in one of those Red Bull cars. And, of course, Red Bull has been big in the news as they are returning back to the Cup Series. But they did run in the IndyCar Series for a while with Team Cheever. Back in the USAC era, when the track record is Tom Sneva. That's no surprise there. The dude holds just about every track record back in the USAC era. 211.3 on those ancient cars back in the day. Career wins leaders here. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jesper's pit under green, and then Alexander Bonney got into the wall trying to avoid him as Jesper was blending up into traffic. Jesper didn't do anything wrong. Alexander was just trying to give him so much room. I think Alexander's going to be okay. But he's going to bring it down pit road this time.
We'll
so
watch him come down the pit road into his stall. Notice where he is lined up. He's in the high-speed lane now. He's about 4 spots from his stall. He can come down, slides into his spot, misses the marks just a little bit, backs up, now going up on the jacks. Let's see if he's going to get a long stop out of this with some possible damage needing to repair. Down off the jacks, waiting for the fuel, and now a long stop. So a little bit of damage, a little bit of repair being taken care of on pit road for Bonnie, who started 4th today.
Sorry to interrupt, Gary. I just
all right.
to make sure.
Career wins leaders here at IndyCar when they did visit the track is Johnny Rutherford has 4 of them, including a 500-miler in '86. Gordon Johncock has 4 of them as well, including the 500-miler in '82, where he won 2 jewels of the Triple Crown in the '82 season, Indianapolis and Michigan. Here's Edson Santos underneath our leader. Liam O'Sullivan slides up a little bit. Crowd, so Sullivan almost into the wall off of 2. Now Sullivan blocking to the, not blocking really, just defensive to the inside. And here comes Santos side by side on the outside, on the high side of 3 and 4.
Honestly, using these types of moves could be faster for them. Right now, the drag racing down the front stretch is not. But if they were to coordinate just a little bit more, they could start to walk away from Alpena and Strauss behind them. Another development from Jesper, he has just rear-ended, I think it was Patrick Silvazzi on the front stretch, and he had damage on his front wing, but I believe it has all popped back, and it took a really long time for it to do so. It popped back in turn 1, even though it was damaged all the way down the front stretch.
Well, he's got to run on Strauss with those new tires that he has on the high side and put him ahead of Strauss, but this is only for track position. Foreman currently
really
a lap down now.
If Jesper can get back past the leader, so that way he doesn't have to take the wave around in the event that there is a yellow. Jesper is very clearly on the, I'm going to pit every 25 laps, so I'll pit at 25, 50, 75, and 100 and bring it home. Whereas I think the rest of the field here is going to just run these tanks dry to about 37 and a half-ish laps. But looks like got a couple other pit-ins here. It looks like Shane Coker is coming.
Yeah, I did that very similar strategy in the Lionheart Speedway series when I came here. I did it was a I believe it was only 100 laps then, and I did 25, 25, 25, and I managed to get in the 2 stints in, and before I got wrecked out. But I was
how much faster Jesper is on that strategy.
I was noticeably faster than everyone, and look, we were going to go 3 wide. Jesper trying to get on the lead lap again here, and now he is as he gets by our leaders. He's now on the lead lap, the tail end of it, and our leaders got a little bit of dirty air.
Oh, he got a yellow right as he unlapped himself.
Caution, and it's Mackenzie Johnson. And we'll see what happened to Mackenzie, but crucial timing on that.
Now, basically, it's going to be a tale of 2 cities between Jesper Orman and Shane Coker, right? Shane was on pit road when that yellow came out, but he's going to be trapped 1 lap down. You'll get to compare and contrast kind of their situations for the rest of the race.
A little bit of net code with Heshy, moves him on around, slides him into 3 and 4. Does he hit the wall? I think he keeps it off the wall, so it's just going to be new tires that he'll require on pit road. And he begins rolling again. But it's enough to bring out the caution here on lap 30 of 125 here of the Iconic Series at Michigan.
Yeah, Johnson did a great job there just locking the brakes up and stopping the car. A lot of times people will try to throttle up and save the car, which just adds to its momentum and makes sure that you back into the safer barrier. By locking up there, he made sure he had no damage, which is really smart.
So Coker's going to stay out. He will get the wave around, so he will come back onto the lead lap. Jesper is going to stay out, as well as Alexander Miller, who looks like has got repair work done, and he's back on the racetrack. So Miller will get one of the 3 laps he is down back, and there he goes right now. I believe not sure why he's getting the wave around now. We'll let the race control figure that one out. We will keep our eyes on the action on the racetrack. But now Coker will get the wave around versus per the IndyCar rule. And so will, not will Orman. Orman actually will inherit the lead now, but with slightly used tires. He'll be 9 laps into his stint versus everyone behind him on freshies. Now, Clindy, if you're in the cockpit there of the Orman Haviline DW12, you are 9 laps into your stint. You came in just a little bit early, I believe. He came in on 22. At this point, do you try to go to 50? Do you go to 44 and pit early? It can just stay on your schedule. What do you do now since we've got our first caution?
Yeah, I think the clean air is going to help Jesper a lot. The 22-lap schedule, I think he just wanted to get out of the pack and work his way onto a different beat, right? And it played into his hand here. He got fortunate with the timing of that yellow, but he cannot afford, in my opinion, to go 22 laps again. He'll have to get closer to 50, as close as he can get. I'm sure this caution will let him get there handily, but I would have also considered maybe even just coming in and topping off on fuel here. You would have beat a majority of the cars out and probably cycled out with the leaders. And then you wouldn't have to worry about, being off sequence the rest of the race. But he's chosen the clean air all by himself. And I think the fresh tires behind him will be a little bit quicker. So he may be a sitting duck, but we'll see.
He is your 2-time and reigning and defending IndyCar champion in the IR18 series that you'll see on Saturdays. Next race for them next week at the Mile in Milwaukee, 3 p.m. Eastern here on the VOR Velocity Online Racing channel. Make sure you subscribe. Let's see how many. He's only 25 subscribers away from 500 people. So give Julian some much love out there. And if you're watching and you have not done so already, subscribe to the channel. He's only 25 away from 500. Do the guy a solid.
Share this with your friends and family. Say, hey, I watch this on Friday afternoons. It's fun. That Clendy guy in the booth, he's pretty funny. That Gary guy, he's got a great voice.
Now, I don't know about that Gary guy, but Clendy brings a lot of talent here to the broadcast. Lining up against the wall, getting ready to go green this time by to lap 33 of 125. Your leader, Jesper Orman, Liam O'Sullivan, Matthias Strauss, Julian Altena, and Jonas Weber, your top 5. Green flag as the field rumbles off into 1.
A little bit of a checkup and go from Jesper. He waited for Liam to kind of roll up to his rear tires, and then he decided to punch it. It's a really common strategy you'll see on these drafting tracks to try to break up the chain behind you, and it's worked really well here. O'Sullivan and Strauss are the only 2 in striking distance, and Altena, Weber, and the others have fallen far behind.
And now we got a battle between O'Sullivan and Strauss, so that's going to allow Orman just to inch away a little bit, but as long as they're within that second gap, they could get in that draft and pull right back up into this.
Ryan Cole made a daring 3-wide move in the Zindy car in turn 3, move him up a spot. He gave one back up on exit, but
now he begins to attack Johnson, who had that slow spin, and 3 and 4 that brought out the last caution to the inside. We got the IndyCar and the IndyCar.
I think the tires on Jesper's car are not nearly as good. O'Sullivan walked right by, and here comes Strauss. Let's see if they can work together, and maybe they want to dispatch Orman back and to relegate him to that second pack and say, hey, go hold those guys up while we walk away.
2 wide coming off the corner between teammates, Stout and Altena. Also back in that battle, Edson Santos, former winner, former series champion. He sends it on the bottom underneath Weber. Good rotation there for Edson. And we're going to go 3 wide at the line.
Championship-winning move right there.
Edson Santos, former champion here in the series. Oh, Weber wasn't going to give him many inches at all on the bottom, and he maybe even touched him coming off the corner.
He gave him half a centimeter, Gary. Edson had no room down there, and the flat has less banking. That first lane is so slippery.
Got to worry about net code here in these cars also as well, and always prevalent. Here's Stout now to the inside.
From all over Europe. So their pings are a little further. I think they're on a European server today.
Yes.
We have a couple North Americans.
In case anyone's wondering if you'd like to be a part of this, this is a free league. This is a European-based league, thus the 4 p.m. Eastern time on a Friday start. But if you're like most people in America, most businesses kind of start emptying out about 3 p.m. And maybe you could get into your back to your home rig if you work at home and get into the league here. But the car is free. The league is free. Not all the tracks are free. He does try to get the free tracks. Contact! Weber to the inside, and I'm trying to get the camera on him, and as he saves it, my goodness, if there wasn't all that concrete there, all that paved infield area, that would have been surely day done for Weber, who got a little bit of a nudge from Carl Stout.
Yeah, he probably would have been doing cartwheels if there was grass on the backstretch like there is on the front stretch.
Let's go back a little bit. Stout just had a, great save. I mean, Stout just get a good run. And sometimes you really don't know how far out that nose of yours is sticking out there. And it fits out, it sticks out there quite a ways on these DW12s. And he hits the bumps and everything on the paved portion of the infield there, but he keeps it off the wall, recovers it, gets it back up into the racing line, cleans off the tires, and he's back underway. He's lost a couple spots, but he's not out of this race yet. And we saw what he could do if he could stay into the finish. Remember last race that we had, he had that horrible pit stop, and he managed to recover to a podium finish.
A lot of times when you have a big run like that, it's kind of like when you bump into your coworker in the hallway on the way to the water cooler. You try to go left and they went right and you end up bumping into each other. The guy in front usually sees you have a run, right? He wants to try to leave you space, and maybe they'll cut down the track or move closer to the wall. But sometimes that's where you were planning to go to pass them. It's just most of the time it's better just to hold the wheel straight and stay where you are. It applies both on oval racing and in multi-class racing. Just be predictable, right? That's the best thing you can do.
Stout getting a big run again on Santos. Side by side a little bit further on back, we have Johnson and Lovern. The VOR Iconic Series is brought to you by IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate the complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, contact Alexander Bonney, who's one of the cars in our lineup today. Contact him at alex@ifspfp.com. Again, ifspfp.com. And the link is in the description. IFS Personal Financial Planning, proud sponsors of the Velocity Online Racing Iconic Series for yet another season.
We are closely and rapidly coming up on lap 50 here, so we'll see if Jesper Orman pits before lap 50 or on lap 50. Oh, we got a big move to the inside on the backstretch.
Him.
It's got that chromed out golden black car. Looks really slick. Almost looks like a big blot of ink all through the middle section of that car.
Well, I'm going to lose you on this because I know you're not a wrestling fan necessarily, but reminds me a lot of the wrestler Goldust.
The town my sister is named after has a diner called the Gold Dust Diner.
Okay. There, we made a connection.
To steal a turn of phrase from my co-presenter on Monday nights, Mark Murphy. Liam O'Sullivan and Matthias Strauss. If this race goes green, they've got it made in the shade because they're going 3 wide behind them. Altena, Stout, and Santos, and they are not gaining time, even on Jesper, who's on those old beat-out tires.
Yeah, and the thing is, in that pack, you have Julian, who is kind of the team captain of that AA squad, and you have one of his drivers, Carl, and Julian's got to be telling him, get in line, let's run this group down. And unfortunately, right there, we see one of his drivers kind of racing him a little bit harder than I'm guessing Julian is wanting at this point. And now he's going to get separated from his teammate because he had a bad turn. It's Mackenzie Johnson sliding to the inside wall, and we are cautioned here back in Michigan, lap 47.
You know who loved to see that? Shane Coker. He had to take the wave around last time, so he's at the very end of the field, and now he gets to be on strategy, on target with all the other cars. And I think Johnson's going to be okay. For the second spin of the day, I think he just barely bumped into it. No damage.
Yeah, that's eventually, though, you're going to run out of luck. Keep the car. Got to keep the car on the racetrack, buddy.
Hey, he's got 2 strikes. He can keep fouling them off. He's fine.
Yeah, maybe he's got the old cat 9 lives. We'll see. It's either 1 strike to go or 7 more.
Hopefully 7 more. For,
he hopes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are lap 48 here under caution as we are not quite to the lap 50 mark. We expect everyone to come to pit road. 17 laps for most everybody on this stint, with the exception of Jesper, who's 26 into his stint. And I would imagine that actually works out pretty well on his strategy. He went 22 the first time, 26 this time. This kind of works into his advantage, as everyone will come down pit road and get new tires.
It's almost impossible to cut a stop from here, right? Both of these cautions fell about 4 to 10 laps before the savers really wanted to pit. So it sets them back on their saving schedule. The earlier they cut these windows, the harder it becomes for them to pit. Alexander Miller is going to get another one of these laps back.
Yeah, he's going to go down to just 1 lap. And he is Miller is 18 laps into his stint, so he's going to hope for another quick caution. Down and away, watching all these cars on pit road, as specifically Jesper Orman, as he comes off pit road in 3rd now, as he's now on the same strategy and the same tires as the leaders. O'Sullivan is your leader coming off of pit road. Strauss 2nd. Orman is in 3rd. Santos is in 4th. Altena is in 5th. Stout 6th. Weber 7th. Silvazzi 8th. Hesche 9th. And Lovern in 10th.
Really mission accomplished for Jesper, right? He did not choose to pit under that last yellow. Instead, he chose the track position and paid off for him. He lost 2 spots, right? But 3rd place is basically the lead here at Michigan. As long as you can see the leader or be close to the leader, you're going to be in good shape. Jesper's getting waved around the field?
Jesper.
What's going on?
I don't know.
He's stopping on the front stretch. I wonder, he was also on the apron the last time we were under yellow. It's entirely possible he has a technical issue he wants to work out and is just getting himself to relative safety to do so. Yeah, he's got full lock in the wheel right now. I bet he's doing diagnostics.
And he's back moving, yeah.
Don't see that every day.
He's slowing down again. We have seen, there's been times on these larger tracks where drivers would get out in front, park it real quick, and then run to the restroom, and then run back, and then be able to, it's a pit stop in a pit stop, so to speak, and get back. I know it's not generally liked by everybody, but I have seen it happen before.
Yeah,
I think this was more of a, and I'm going to agree with you here, I think this is more of a mechanical, technical issue that he's having with his rig rather than him needing to run to the nearest restroom.
One thing to note, Ryan Cole did come in and top off on fuel, so he'll have basically a quarter of a gallon, maybe more than everyone else. That could be half a lap, or he could stretch that into a whole lap if he really, really was delicate with his throttle during this run. But Liam's going to have control here, and I wouldn't expect him to waste any time trying to break away from the rest of the field.
Right. Alexander Miller now only 1 lap down. Another timed caution, and he can stay out, get the wave around. He is looking to make up 6 miles on the field. He's made up 4 miles so far. And a car back in the pack.
That's Bonnie. Sure. He got back out with damage.
Okay. Strauss side by side down the backstretch to the lead over O'Sullivan.
Keep an eye on Orman. He's going to have a big run here down the front. We'll see if he chooses to lift and save or press the attack.
We'll update you on the points and the schedule here when we get into this stint. As Hesje has dropped out of the race.
I still see him.
Oh, now he's back in. Now he's back in. I thought I was thinking a bit of a ping drop. Here comes Sinclair to the inside of Van Gastel, excuse me. Coker's going to send it there as well. A little bit further ahead, Lovern down low. Over Hesje, move Lovern to the 9th. Weber and Santos. Santos getting freight trained a little bit now. Lost a position to Weber. Now he's going to lose a position to Savazzi. Now he gets it back from Savazzi with the faster run on the high side. Put a blanket over this group of 4 cars. This is a battle for 5th spot. Oh, whoa, ho, ho. Santos, a little bit of an arrow wash, saves it, but had the lift. That's going to open the door to the bottom side for Savazzi.
Yeah, Santos thought he was going to be getting clean air on the bottom, but when he just slid up a little bit on corner off, he's like, oh, nope, no clean air here.
And then we will show you what we're talking about. Let's get on to the in-car here of... So down the stretch, he's getting the draft from the car right here in front of him. So he's punching a hole in the air. But when he gets into the corner, and now we're 3 wide for the lead. But there's dirty air here. Now he's on the bottom. There's clean air here. Dirty air up here. So he goes where the car in front of him is not. Back up front. Jesper Orman.
A great benefactor of the 3-wide move. Stuck it in the middle and it worked out. It's like a hot dog in a bun, right? You push on the sides of the bun and the one in the middle goes forward or backward. You always win big or you lose when you go to the middle. Sorry, win big or lose big when you go to the middle.
The battle for 4th. Stout, Altena, Weber, and Salvazzi. 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th.
Some activity in the chat. Good to see you guys here at the Sim Gaming Expo. Thanks for
that is George Anzaldo. George, welcome. And the ISRA, that's going to be Rigney. And you can catch the next ISRA race over on P1 Broadcasting Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the ISRA Open Wheel Series at Kansas. Clindy will be a part of that.
See if I can finish another one of those races. Instead of being a menace on the racetrack, huh?
And looks like George says, did get some good news today. That may be the difference in bringing on some big brand. Oh, I love it. The Sim Racing, or the Sim Gaming Expo, that'll be in September. Go to their website, check it out.
Barry, I think we're going to have a 7-car fight for the lead brewing here soon.
Yep, we are.
Altena and Stout are doing a great job of pulling the second pack forward to the front trio. And Santos is the first big loser. He kind of lost out earlier when they were all dicing it up, and he's fallen back to Matty Sinclair, almost 5 seconds behind those guys.
Yeah, and now he's getting mixed up with Lovern, Coker, and he just wants to really stay in line. A little bit further back, there's Ortiz and Van Gastel. Oh, okay. Cole to the bottom gets the position. And McKenzie staying out of the way, staying down low, letting the leaders on by. Great etiquette. Everyone will remember that. If the McKenzie ever gets themselves in a position for a win in the lap traffic there, get him out of his way. Great etiquette.
Car drivers seem to have a really long memory.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. We remember those that wrong us, and we certainly remember those that wrong us. That's for sure.
I was for a very long time a dart without feathers, and so I've been working pretty hard these past few seasons to try to correct that image. I think it's unfairly spilled over to some of my teammates from time to time.
Here are the driver's points coming into today. Liam is your leader, followed by Jonas, Hesche, Bree. Not in today's lineup. Christensen not in today's lineup. So there'll be some moving and shaking there in the top 5 after today's race. And a reminder of the race information coming into today's event. Previous winners here, and the 2 races that we have been here, been Julian both times over his teammate. So will we see a repeat of Season 2 and Season 4 today, or will we see someone new?
I think if Weber or Stout can get to clean air, they've shown exceptional pace and exceptional bravery in the moves they've made today. So they just need to play probably a little bit nicer to get up to those front duo, and then they can take that clean air for themselves. I'd like to see if they can hold on to it, because I think both of them could.
At the halfway point of the race, but we are only, that is the IR18 championship schedule. You will see next week we will be at the Milwaukee Mile, then Iowa, then Montreal, before heading to Indianapolis in March for their month of May and March. That's the IndyCar Championship, which Jesper Orman is the leader, the champion of, from last season. Here is the Iconic Series schedule. We are round 2 here at Michigan, postponed from last week because of the Daytona 24 on iRacing. This week, moved the race to here. Got a good size field. Then next week, will be VOR weekend at Milwaukee, then Iowa, Legacy, Kentucky, and then Indianapolis. Still a long ways to go. Season will end in May. If you'd like to be a part of the VOR Iconic Series, link to the Discord is in the description. Sign up. The league is free. The car is free. All you need is the ability to drive, the desire to win, and the tracks on the schedule.
And an iRacing subscription, which you can find 3-month trials for free at some websites. A lot of sim equipment sites or setup shops will send you a free trial on the service. Or during the Black Friday deal, you can get basically 2 years for the first one, which is what I do every year.
Check it out, iRacing. Really one of the few places that you can race Indy cars online. As true to real as you saw them on TV back in the day. Back up front, it is
against
go ahead.
Real pros. Like,
oh my goodness,
yes. Raced wheel to wheel with Will Power this season, right? So,
Tony Kanaan, Will Power, Pato Award, Robert Whitkins. He is also every now and then appears in the lineups. Scott McLaughlin, every now and then you'll see him on the service. Oliver Askew. Canapino was in some races last season.
Yep, I taught him the tools at Auto Club last year. And I can teach you the tools at any fixed racetrack for the IndyCar IR18 on our P1 track guides.
That's over on the P1 Broadcasting channel. Check those out. Every week, a new one for the upcoming race on the schedule. Next one you're working on is Richmond, right?
Yep, I've got it in my video editor right now, actually.
How much different is Richmond than Iowa for setting up your tools?
Hugely. Iowa has so much more banking and so much more grip because of the coarseness of the track, which leads to more tire wear, of course, but the car just plants and rips so much better at Iowa. At Richmond, you feel like you're skating through every single corner.
Strauss to the inside of Weber. He is clear, slides up. Now he is in the draft of Stout. Goes to the inside of Stout at the start-finish line. Looking to get to the inside, get that position. Meanwhile, Julian just scooted away.
Yep, it's those big moves these guys were making earlier that wore their rubber out. That's why they can't really keep up. It was going to be a 7-car battle, but Altena put on the afterburners and let the front three walk away. If Julian's not careful, he's not even going to be in the draft of Jesper and Liam. Because they're working together really cleanly every lap. Jesper is making sure to get a good swap.
And Julian is 1.1 behind Sullivan, so he is on the cusp of losing that draft. Just right there.
Well, and he's a tenth of a second slower, right? So next lap it'll be 1.1, then 1.2, and they'll just get smaller and smaller lap after lap. And Strauss and Stout continue to not play nicely. They could swap draft, right, and make up time. Well, maybe they're going to do it here, but again, it's not looking like they're coordinating it. Strauss is making it happen through force of will.
Stout down the 4th gear, coming off the corner, trying to keep those revs high. Hits the rev limiter, goes to 5th. Down the 4th again, helping the car rotate. Again, fixed setup. Whoa. Fixed setup races here in the DW12 on the iRacing service. You do not have access to the tools. No roll bars, no weight jacker. It is just
no engine maps.
No engine mapping either, right? You can set the brake bias, but that's it. It is you, your hands, and your feet. That is how you get this car to drive. Weber to the inside of Strauss, excuse me. Car on pit road. That is Jesper Orman.
I think Jesper knows how fast those fresh tires are. However, he's kind of leaving Liam out to dry. If Liam and Julian wanted to, Liam could take 1 second away from his lead, right? He'd still be a 1.5 seconds up over Stout, who's also another teammate. But then he and Julian can work together and try to... I mean, you have to rebuild that 1 second you conceded, but over the long run, it might pay off.
New set of tires, full tank of fuel for the IndyCar champion.
O'Sullivan's in.
Hey, O'Sullivan's not going to wait on the fresh tires and get the undercut. He's going to answer right away.
Hey, Space Wizard, I see your question in the chat. There are no minimum requirements. I think you just have to own the car. I think Julian might require you to do a test race if you've never raced the car before, and we'll just kind of like feel you out. But that's what this season or this series is for. It's for competitors who are not yet ready to graduate to the IR18 on Saturdays, or for people who want the free content or don't want to race the new car and they want to race the old car. Veterans and newcomers alike.
A lot of Brazilians race this car, we've been told by our Brazilian drivers in the lineup, because it's free. And they race them on all the free tracks here on the service. But, yeah, this is a free car. It is. I bought it when it was a legacy car, when it was like $9 or something like that. But now it is a free car. Back and the well, there you see, when you come in early, that's what happens. Is Orman is going to pick up the lead, at least when the pit stops finish up. He is now your lead first car after the pit stops. Right now, your current leader is Julian, right behind them. I would suspect he's going to come to pit road anytime after seeing how the undercut has performed here. And, yep, here he comes on pit road. Yep, just as I thought he would. But Julian's not going to waste time. He's going to answer right away. Matty Sinclair, stop complete, rolling off pit road. Silvazzi on pit road, scheduled stop.
And Gary look who gets to lead a lap, Gary.
Gary Lovern, that's right. I was getting ready to throw the camera on Gary there. He is now your leader. And Liam O'Sullivan, new tires, fastest lap, 2:21.6. That's the difference right there. And he's also in the draft of a really fast car in front of him. Liam would like to get the win here. Last two times we've been here, he has been second place. He's been the bridesmaid, never the bride. Always been the bridesmaid to Julian. Julian, 2 visits here, 2 wins in the Iconic Series.
I'm not sure if Julian had a really bad pit entry or pit exit, but he got jumped by Carroll, and he's now racing with Matthias, basically.
Yeah, he got jumped by Stout and Strauss.
Yeah, 10 seconds behind the leaders.
Yeah, maybe he had to, he took that a little bit more conservative than he normally does.
Sorry, 7 seconds, not 10. Big difference there.
Van Gastel is your leader now. He is currently 33 laps into his current stint. Ryan Cole right behind him, 32 laps. Ortiz and Lovern. Lovern on pit road. Ortiz stays out. So some of the newer drivers in this series cycling to the top, showing that they can go long when they need to. Van Gastel, your leader. And coming to pit road now. Altena, purple lap that time by. 2:21.7 as Ryan Cole in the Zindy car goes to the lead and will lead a lap. Gastel on pit road. So Ryan Cole going to go long into this run. He slides up in front of Heshy.
And with Heshy unlapping himself, the only car 1 lap down will be Alexander Miller, who's still attempting to recover from that early incident.
Got himself 4 miles back in this race from the 6 he was down. And Liam O'Sullivan to the bottom and around. Jesper Orman as they are working together now very clearly. Cole still out there. He's your leader. Down the backstretch in the turns 3 and 4. Will he make that turn down the pit road for... Here he comes. 84, gone 34 this time. So coming to 85.
Harry, I do want to give a call. I was wrong there. Jonas Weber pit twice.
Speeding?
He may have gotten a black flag for speeding, but it looked like he got service both times. So
last stop was 16.5 seconds, so I'm not sure. Maybe did not get fuel or something?
Possible.
So where we were looking at Cole actually was, he's in the neighborhood of making it this as his final stop. He needs to go more like 40 laps in order to make this last stop work for him or get some caution here. But he's going to end up, if he goes by the same stint that he did this time, he's going to be 5 laps short.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a caution right at the end of the race to bring it home for Ryan Cole.
So back up front, Liam O'Sullivan is your leader as he swaps the lead with Jesper Orman. We have our Season 5 points leader at the moment versus the Season 12 IndyCar Series champion.
Three-car battle in 3 and 4 between Van Gastel, Weber, and Lover. And I wonder if Edson Santos picked up damage or something. He's just so far off the pace that we normally see him having. I know he kind of got the short end of a stick in a 3-car battle earlier, but I didn't see any obvious damage. I'm going to zoom in on his ad blocker. That looks fine. His front wing looks fine. Just a case of the setup not agreeing with him today, I guess.
And let's reset the field here. But before we do, if you're just joining us, this is Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR Iconic Series coming to you from Michigan International Speedway for the Michigan 250, the first jewel in the Triple Crown here for the Iconic Series. You've completed now 89 of 125 laps. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race, which is next week from the Milwaukee Mile. It's Milwaukee weekend all across the entire VOR series in the Iconic and IndyCar Championships. So if you like short track oval racing next week, join us from the Mile. 4 p.m. Eastern on Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Get back to some of those mid-pack battles. This one between Lovern and Van Gastel, excuse me, for 10th and 11th.
I think Gary Lovern just really wants to follow behind Edson Santos here, but
well, he's not on the. Yeah, you're right. He's not on the pace, and Lovern to the bottom side and around. So we're gonna move Gary Lovern up to 9th here with this pass.
I don't think there's any way Santos can make it to the end. He last pit on lap 70.
Oh, Weber! Weber to the inside, and he just sends it. I'm not quite sure exactly why he did that being a lap down, but he goes ahead and sends it anyways and just gets track position.
Some guys just want to go fast, and it doesn't matter how many laps down they are, Gary.
You know, I'm in Gary's position. I got my relative up. The only person in this battle that means anything to me is probably Pim, knowing that Edson might be possibly damaged, or he's on a different strategy that's just not as fast as mine at the moment. So I'm not going to worry about Edson. I'm going to worry about Pim. But if I see, and here comes Pim to the inside. If I see Weber racing me like that, I'll be like, dude, just go right ahead.
Or you want to go so fast? Show me you're fast.
Yeah, show me. Yeah, just yeah. I don't understand why the send it, if you're a lap down, you're going to send it on me like that and endanger all three of us. But Weber, I mean, he's skilled. He finished on the podium last week. I just, at this point, maybe with a lap down, question the. I guess I shouldn't do that. We'll let chat make the if they have any reservations or rulings on that. But typically, if you're a lap down and you're racing around people that are racing for position on the lead lap, I tend to yield to them. And Van Gastel to the inside of Gary, and he's going to try him in 1 and 2. Whoa, slides up, not going to be able to hold the bottom line. They're going to come off the corner side by side, and right in front of him is Shane Coker. That is for position. That is 8th spot.
Shane's come into the pits this time. He pitted a little earlier than these guys on 67.
Oh, keep it down. There he goes. Good job by Shane. This is his final stop. This should be his final stop here.
And if it cycles out just like it did, he could be in position to snipe a top 5 here.
Oh, Orman, pit road, and he sped. Possibly sped. He came in, kind of, he locked him up.
I'm not seeing a black flag, Gary. I think he got down to pit road speed.
Lucky.
Not lucky. That was all skill.
So now he went 20 laps. Orman went 20 laps into that stint. So does Liam allow him to answer or set the tone here? Does Liam come? Liam comes down. Yep. Liam is not going to allow him. Set the tone. Slow down. Slow down. He gets there just in time. Julian stays out. I think Julian will answer next lap. Carl Stout now second, Strauss third, Silvazzi fourth, Matty Sinclair fifth, Liam O'Sullivan still rolling down to his stall, pulling in. A little cockeyed there, but still hits the marks, allowing the crew to go to work. Enough fuel to go to the finish. You do not need a full tank, but the most important thing here are fresh tires. And now he needs to bring his car, whoa, very twitchy, cold tires on a very flat, dirty surface there on the apron. Trying to bring it up to speed as quickly as he can. And there is his primary combatant as he gets out just around him. But he's not. Oh, look at him going all the way down to the white line and below to break the draft.
Yeah, Jesper's just on that bubble. He's just about 1 second ahead of Liam. Just a 1/10 of a second. Anything he can do to squeeze out a little bit of an advantage here. Going onto the apron on the front stretch. Cutting distance. Making his slipstream disappear.
And there we see the gap between the two positions right here. And it gets, it's about the same. It's a little bit bigger. Julian stays out. Julian has himself a 4-second lead over Strauss in second. Now, could possibly Julian make it the entire distance? He stopped 30 laps into his stint.
No, I don't think he can.
Yeah, he was on 79.
He's looking probably to split this just right in half, right? He's going to look to come at like lap 102 or 103 so he can maximize the tire life on both stints.
Breaking out the calculators. Altena, Strauss, Sinclair, Lover, and Van Gastel, your top 5. And let's go back to the Van Gastel battle with Lover. And as that is remaining close, if they have now caught Coker, but they have not stopped yet. These guys 18 laps, 19 laps into their stints respectively. Side by side through the quarters. Shane, go ahead.
Shane actually came out behind all these guys after he had pit, and he did a really good job being patient and working through this traffic. I want to give a shout out to Shane of running the Votive League. He's doing a lot to improve recently. I coached him to a win at Chicagoland earlier this week. He's keeping the car clean today, so really, really like to see the results all being yielded out on the racetrack today.
Strauss coming off of pit road for his final stop. Also behind them, we see Matty Sinclair, final stop for Matty. Ortiz also coming off of pit road, final stop for Ortiz. His final stop's underway here. But still waiting for a final stop for Altena and Lovern and Pim Van Gastel. Edson Santos also final stop looking in his future. Edson Santos on pit road. There in the Leader Energy stable. And a solar management software. Not an energy drink. They expect Julian to go to about 109, so about another 5 more laps as he has himself a 15-second lead over Gary Lovern, who is an associated car in their stable. He continues the battle, Pim, in the Mars Racing entry. So Mars in the G.I. Joe universe, that is Destro's name of his arms company. So I wonder if Pim is getting IndyCars from Destro and his arms company. I mean, now would be a good time to engage the rocket launcher, I think.
Yeah, just point it out backwards. Go.
or engage the jet inboard jet engine.
Oh, Orman's in the wall off of 2. O'Sullivan's going to have a huge run coming into turn 3 here. Jesper just has had such bad luck out of turn 2 today. He's been pushing the issue and keeps getting snake bit. Not terminal yet.
Let's watch this and see what happens. There a car in front? There's not a car in front of him. He just missed his line.
Clean as could be. Yeah. I think he's driving in the mirror, actually.
Let's watch. He just kind of comes up. I think he's trying to unwind, and it's not scrub, and boom. Yeah. I mean, it was a kiss. I don't think it was a thump, but it was a kiss.
But that's all it took to get O'Sullivan right into the draft wake. Before, O'Sullivan was trying desperately to get right into the bubble, but now he's there. He's on the bumper. Looking to the inside into turn 1. This will be for the lead.
With a kiss like that, I want my dinner first. Oh, side by side as we get close. Now, here's the dragon, as they call it, or the snake down the backstretch.
We'll call it crab walking because he pinched him into 1.
Altena, Van Gastel, Cole is still your top 3, waiting for their final stops. But this is a battle for probably which will be the lead. Now, you might remember, I can't remember if it was here or Fontana, but there was a race very similar to this that Julian went in late to get his last set of tires and stormed back through the field and got the win. I'm wondering if he's looking at that same strategy here again. I mean, he's going to have a
pit road right now.
He's going to have a ton.
Oh, he spins.
Oh,
he spins.
No. And that's going to cost him. That's going to cost him.
Only about a second and a half. It could have been worse. He didn't hit anything. And honestly, Jesper made up a ton of time coming to pit road sideways because he did it so quickly. It's entirely possible he probably only lost like 7/10 off of his best pit road
we'll
entrance.
see. He's going to have to push every single lap here to the end. He's going to have the freshest tires out of anyone. Meanwhile, Van Gastel is the longest lasting out of everyone right now. He's 27 laps into his stint. He went 34 last time, so we expect him for at least another 7 more laps. As Ryan Cole is second, Jesper Orman now third. Cole coming to pit road, final stop.
what I don't like about Julian's strategy is that he's only going to have 15 laps to use these tires. He's still on the lead lap, so if he gets a yellow right now, he'll have the best tires of anyone, and he won't have to pit, which is kind of the bright side, the silver lining here. I just feel like he's too far back with too much ground to make up.
And then let's get the intervals to the leaders up. So Julian 19 seconds back, but he could push every single lap now with these tires. Pim will be pitting probably in the next 5 laps. That will give the lead to Jesper, who will have, at the time he inherits the lead, 21 lap old tires.
Yeah, but he's also had clean air this whole stint, which is a luxury few can be served.
Final shout out for the IFS Personal Financial Planning, the official sponsors. Oh, Gary Loverin, purple lap, 2:21.7 that time by. The official sponsors of the VOR Iconic Series. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most out of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate the complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, you want to contact Alexander Bonney at alex@ifspfp.com. Again, that's alex@ifspfp.com. The link is in the description for his email. Proud sponsor of the VOR Iconic Series. 12 laps to go. Thanks for joining us. This is round 2 of 11 of the VOR Iconic Series, coming to you from Michigan International Speedway for the Michigan 250, where right now, Jesper Orman is set to inherit the lead once Pim Van Gastel comes to pit road. We're coming up very quickly to 10 to go. If you're just joining us, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Getting really close to 500 subscribers. Just hit the subscribe button, would you? It's free. It's not going to hurt you. Do it right now. And get us up to 500 subscribers here on the Velocity Online Racing League channel. We bring these guys home for this 250-mile event. Round 1 of the iconic Triple Crown this season. Round 2 will be at Indianapolis. Round 3 will be at Fontana.
The leaders have traffic on the horizon, Gary. Should this race go green to the end, I think O'Sullivan and Orman will have to navigate the likes of Alexander Miller, Brian Cole, and Jonas Weber before this is all said and done with. And we saw that Weber had no interest in yielding to leaders earlier today.
Right. There we see the conditions going into the final portion of this race. 82 degrees ambient, 109 degrees track temperature. That is actually a pretty decent track temperature. With worn tires towards the end, these guys are going to be struggling for grip. There we see Gastel coming to pit road, giving the lead over to Orman. Now O'Sullivan. Stout will move to 3rd. Silvazzi 4th. Altena will move to 5th.
I think Altena's going to make quick work of Silvazzi here. His tires are nearly
Julian puts
better.
up a purple lap. 2:21.8. So he is on the move. Will he have time? Julian now 9 seconds from the lead and gaining.
He'll definitely catch Carroll Stout. I don't think he'll catch Jesper or Liam. Too much time to make up. Not enough laps to get there.
8 laps to go, 16 miles here in the Iris Hills. Julian fast again that time, 2:21.9. He's linking together purple laps. I mean, he's doing everything he needs to do. He just might have given up too much space as he's trying to run down Stout and get in the draft of Stout. Julian now 8 seconds away.
And making up 0.7 of a second a lap. Now, 0.7 times 10 is only 7 seconds, right? So he'll be about a second and a tenth behind the leaders unless he finds another tenth or two. And there he was a tenth or two slower, so definitely a podium on
32.6 though. I mean, a 32.6. We'll show you. We can even bring up last lap speeds You see Julian 220.7, Stout 217. He's 3 miles per hour faster than Stout. And he's in the draft of Stout now.
Liam has gotten by Jesper.
Liam now protecting to the inside, and also involved here. We have lap traffic, and that's Vad Gastel, who came out in front of the leaders. Liam, 6 laps to go. Coming to 5 has been the bridesmaid each time we've come to Michigan, looking for that first win and the win to back up his start of the season last race. Got that win at Texas. Looking to go back-to-back here at Michigan. 5 to go, coming to 4 to go.
How they navigate that draft from Van Castel's going to matter a lot.
Julian still turning 220s, 5 miles per hour faster than O'Sullivan that time.
But he's 6 seconds back. He's not going to catch him.
Also, last time we saw a race where Jesper was fighting for the win, there was contact between the 2 leaders coming off the corner, and it gave the win
Alexander Miller.
to Alexander Miller, yeah. I think we also saw Julian and get contact at, I think, at Pocono, and in a similar situation last season. There, big run on the high side, 3 to go.
I think
Orman.
Liam really wants the bottom to open up, but Van Gastel keeps wrapping that yellow line with a late entry. Jesper wisely just setting 1 lane higher than Pim every corner.
Coming to 2 to go at the line. 4 miles left. Orman, your leader. O'Sullivan second by 2/10. Julian gaining still in third, 4 seconds behind, but he's going to run out of time unless there's some incident between these 2 leaders. He might be able to pick up the win, but right now, this is the battle for the win. Right now, Orman and O'Sullivan, first and second into turn 3 and 4, coming to the white flag this time by here at Michigan. And every time we come here, 250 miles, long race, but it comes down to the last lap. O'Sullivan now tucked in line, less than 1/10 of a second, down on the bottom. He's going to send it, and he's going to try to slide on up in front of Jesper, and Jesper's going to have the run on the high side. We're going to be side by side down the backstretch. Liam's going to tuck back in. He's going to get a run, try to send it in 3 and 4. Is the last gas for the victory here at Michigan. 3 and 4, sending it to the bottom. Orman's going to have a run on the high side. The only saving grace here for Liam is to go to the apron. He's not going to be able to get there, and Orman's going to protect and get the win here at Michigan.
Liam gave it all he had on the bottom, just physics were not on his side. Julian Altena comes home only 3 seconds in arrears from these leaders, so perhaps that pit road slide cost him a lot more than we thought, Gary.
Well, ask him when he gets into the interview room, see what he has to say about that.
Carroll Stout comes home 4th. 1 step shy of the podium. We'll get to interview him sometime this season, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure of that. Here are your results here from the Michigan 250 at Michigan International Speedway. Jesper Orman, your defending IndyCar champion in the IndyCar Championship, gets the win here over Liam O'Sullivan and Julian Altena. Comes home 3rd. Carl Stout 4th. Salvazzi 5th. Strauss 6th. Addie Sinclair in the Nigel livery comes home 7th. Edson Santos, not sure what happened to him, but he does bring it home 8th. Hesje, another top 10 and 9th. Lovern in 10th to wrap up the top 10. Coker in 11th. Pim van Gastel, he tried to go as long as possible on that last stint, but had to stop. Comes home 12th. Cole 13th. Weber 14th. Miller 15th. Miller did a good job at getting 2 of those 3 laps back, but unfortunately just not enough caution there at the end to bring him even with the field. But he's 15th. Ortiz 16th. Bonnie 17th. And Mackenzie Johnson in 18th. I believe that is your entire field, yes.
Our podium, or sorry, right. We've got Liam, Julian, and Carol. We don't have Mr. Orman, our winner, but I'm sure he's still celebrating with his. Yeah, stand by.
Mechanics. We'll get started here. Just racking up some replays.
I can be patient. My on-track behavior can't be trusted when it comes to how patient I can be.
There, and here we go. Always a lot of production that you have to do to make these things look like we're at least semi-pro at this, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Julian puts a lot of effort into making his shows look good, and we do everything we can to make the booth just as professional.
Just as professional. That's exactly the way I tell him every week. But there we go. Let's bring in Julian, who finishes 3rd here tonight. And there he is. He is here in the channel. Julian, congratulations. P3 today. A strategy we've seen you try to do before with a late pit stop with the freshest tire to storm back through the field, but not enough time in order to run down those 2 leaders. But your strategy at least gets you to the bottom step of the podium and a good spot to get a P2, or excuse me, a P3 in the championship only after 2 rounds. So not a bad start.
I'm not sure we're looking at the same points table, but I'm a P8 in the standings. Yeah, it was a decent race. I'm a bit upset, to be honest, because I should have won that race easily. But yeah, I don't know if it's a faulty mic or a faulty headset on Carol's side, but I told him I was pitting and he just dove it up the inside and put me offline. I'm not sure if it put marbles on the tires or not, but it caused the rears to lock up, and I lost like 6 seconds there, probably. So really annoyed by it, but it happens. Still a really good team result today, though. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is good. Can't really complain from that side. Just for my personal race, I'm a bit upset about it, but like I say, it happens. And it's better than P18 or whatever I finished at Texas when I got taken out by Ryan. So yeah, it's not all bad, but could have been better.
Go ahead, Clindy.
Yeah, you clocked it at 6 seconds lost due to that lazy half slide into pit road. Did you have your relative up, or how did you mark that? Did you have a target in lap and out lap time that you were aiming against, or is it just you went back, watched the replay, and timed it?
No, I just looked at the relative. Really, you can just see where the guys are around you, and you have an indication of where you should be when you rejoin the track. I do know that when I pitted, I was about 4 seconds back behind those guys. And I knew that if I stayed out X amount of laps more, I would have been around 7-8 seconds behind them. And I was about 14 behind them, or even further behind them when I rejoined. So that's how I timed that. But yeah, the speed in this thing is incredible. And it seems like I figured something out with it. I don't know what it is. It's not my setup by any means. So I guess I'm just good with it. I'm pretty quick with it. But yeah, just the execution of the final stint with everything that happened just makes it kind of suck. But like I say, it's not all bad with the P3. So.
Any other shout outs you want to make before we let you go to go back and do the debrief for this race?
Yeah, of course. The sponsors, Lovers Inc. on the side of my car. Check it out at loversinc.com. IFS Personal Financial Planning. If you want to get in contact with Alex, Alex at ifspfp.com. I'm sure you mention it all the time on the broadcast.
We did.
You guys, great. You guys, of course, my girlfriend downstairs, and everyone who came out today. It was a bit touch and go on how many cars we were going to get today. At one point, it was looking like 14, 15 cars, and in the end, 18 turned up. So that was great to see. Want to thank everyone who came out, and yeah, I'm a bit exhausted after this one, to be honest, as well. It was a bit hard to keep the car under control like that. Was a bit hotter than the last time we raced here, which I think showed in the style of racing too. But it was a workout, so at least I don't need to go to the gym again tonight. And yeah, just looking forward to the short ovals up next, the next 2 races.
All right, well, congratulations on the P3. It's a good recovery from that Texas race. Sets you up for a good run now that you've recovered some positions. You're up 11 spots in the standings, so that gets you in a good spot. So now that you are ahead of a lot of your chief competition, now you're looking at the guys that you really need to go after here in the next race at Milwaukee, a track we know you run very well at, but we will see you next week.
Sure, yeah. I've done it before, recovered from this far back, so we'll see.
All right, and that is not a very happy Julian Altena. All things considered, do you think he should be upset, Clindy, or does he have some room to be upset? Or, I mean, how do you feel if you're in being in shoes?
I mean, anytime you race your heart out and don't come home where you feel like you deserve to come home, it hurts, Gary. I mean, I experienced that firsthand earlier this week, but you just got to take it in stride and learn from it. And whether it be a communications error or an execution error, you can clean those up and you can get better, right? And whenever you see an opportunity to get better, you have to realize the fact that you weren't that good to begin with, right? And nobody's perfect, and just the bigger that mountain is to climb, the harder the task it will be as you try to climb it.
And when you get to the top of the mountain, the sweeter it should be when you get there. But let's bring up Liam, who has not quite conquered the mountain here known as Michigan, but he keeps coming so close. A third race in a row here, each time finishing second by the slimmest of margins. I'd have to look back at the stats. I don't know what the combined finish between all 3 races of what your second place is, but it's got to be in the neighborhood of a second and a half between 3 races that you keep finishing second place. But still, a good start to the points championship, a win at Texas, a P2 at Michigan puts you in a very good spot very early on for this championship.
Yeah, we're in a good position, obviously. Jesper racing tonight. Add an extra challenge as always. He does. He's always a very special person to race against. With every time you get a different version of him, of just different kind of quality to deal with, of mind over matter when racing him as well. Just with how much it goes through you while you're trying to somehow topple him. But yeah, I had a bit of work to do the first 10 laps on that last stint to get back up to him. That 1 lap difference just on a pit stop was. I think he nailed his pits a lot more on the last stop compared to the previous time, so he gained more this time on the last stint. But yeah, it could have gone either way. I don't think I took all the chances I could have done there, and I felt like I could have been maybe a bit more aggressive, especially knowing he's told me he's on 10x, so that's the amount of times he hit the wall. If he got one more, he would have got a DQ. So maybe could have put him up in the marbles a little bit more, but no, it was a great race, especially after the Watkins Glen, just me throwing away another race, just not taking my chances on a race win knocked on. And yeah, again, as you said, going well in this series, and hopefully the strength of the team in this and the other series pulls me through to some better results in that series.
All right, Clindy.
Yeah, so we saw you really try to reel in Jesper after that pit stop. You had the fresher tires by a lap, and you really dogged him that whole way. Do you feel like maybe he got into the wall a couple times because he was trying to mirror drive you off the exit of 2?
Well, he got 10x, so I'm assuming he did. Yeah, there was a lot of times where it looked like he was in the wall, but he wasn't. I was just kind of going by the momentum he lost. But yeah, there was one where we kind of both got it and he lost a ton of momentum. So I'm assuming that did a lot more damage to him. And that's probably what helped me to get back on terms with him, was just applying that pressure. But again, I could have played the strategy game, try to run it longer, but you're always playing a dangerous game, letting someone of that quality get 6 seconds ahead of you and then try and catch them down on newer tyres, which I think Julian actually net gained if I would have followed his strategy. But again, it's when someone like that does a bold strategy, you kind of got to follow it. So yeah, it was, again, tough race. I don't think there was much more I could have done apart from maybe be a bit more aggressive earlier on and then try and control it the way he did out in front.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone to say hi to before we let you go for the for this podium finish, starting off the season right, 2 podiums in a row?
Yeah, firstly, just the team overall, the improvement across the board from every single driver. I know we downsized by 2 drivers as well to really focus on improving the performance of the team from kind of season 1 of me being here going to season 2 in a VOR kind of sense. And I mean, it's been massive in both series. We've seen kind of dominance across 3 cars of ours fighting in that top 5. So that's been really positive across the board. Mum, Dad watching. I know Granddad's watching. Yeah, and look forward to Milwaukee next week.
Well, congratulations on the P2 today. We will see you next week when we go to the mile, the first short track of the season, and see how well you do there. It's kind of a change of pace, so to speak, a little early. So we will see you there next week when we go to the mile.
Yep, thanks, guys.
All right, and let's bring up Jesper here. And I know what my main question is going to be to him, is he was really setting the tone here. Here he is, Jesper Orman, in the booth with us, winner today in the Iconic Series. Really set the tone. I'm not going to say lucky with that first caution, but you came in at lap 22. Cycled to the front because you came in before everyone else. Then the caution came out. They all went to the pits. You stayed up front, so that really kind of got you in position. But after that, we noticed that you were kind of hitting pit road well before everyone else and kind of setting the tone. Whereas they didn't want you to get too far away on those fresh tires. And really, it seemed like the second half of the race, when you came to pit road, everyone else that was competing against you was coming to pit road. At that point, you kind of know, you kind of got the race in your hand. It's your race to lose. And you ended up winning today here on the high banks at Michigan. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Exactly. I mean, I try to change it up a little bit. I try to do something different. I wasn't quite sure about the fuel strategy, how many laps I could go, etc. On the first stance, I just pitted and just to see what would happen. And turn out that, like, I forgot that this old tire model, this pace difference between new tires and old tires is quite big. So I really enjoyed that and came through the field. Managed to get ahead of the leaders just before the yellow came out. And at that point, I had like a choice. I could either, pit on, get new tires and be like tail end of the field, or I could stay out and do something different. So yeah, I did something different. Obviously, I struggled a lot with those tires there behind Liam and was it Strauss? I think it was.
Yeah.
So I barely hung on to their toe, and then yellow came out again, and from there on the race was neutralized for me. So I was in position, and yeah, I tried to undercut them, but Liam, as soon as I went to the pits, Liam also decided to go to the pits. And to be honest, I don't think it was the best strategy. I think waiting maybe 5 or 10 laps was the better strategy. As you could see in the end, when Julian had a lot of pace on us, like over half a second per lap there at the end. So, but yeah, it was fun in the end. I must say I'm really impressed by Liam's like progress and how he just pushes me to absolute limit. It's really great to see, and yeah, it's fun.
So you're saying you hit the wall off of turn 2 because you're pushing so hard to keep a fast driver behind you? Or is there an extra speed boost panel out in the safer barrier we don't know about?
Yeah, the race was a bit sloppy. I mean, I think I kissed the wall 4 times, and then I hit someone from behind once. So I had 10x out of 12. Oof. So I couldn't afford to hit the wall one more time. Luckily, this car is basically a tank, so I was good. But yeah, I think I kissed the wall pretty hard, like a few laps in, like whoa, because I hadn't done any practice laps, obviously. So I had to practice like the first couple laps, and wow, really pushy. And I was lucky to get away with that one. And then the 3 other times I hit the wall, it was like, it's kind of hard. You want to manipulate the car. You want the car to, you want the wheel to go straight, but at the same time, you want that rotation. And it's kind of difficult to judge how fast the wall is coming up on you. So, like, one lap, I could feel like, wow, I'm going to hit the wall. And then I lift a little bit, and like, I'm miles from the wall. I'm like three lanes down, like, Jesus, okay. And then the next lap, I would like, okay, I'm going to push a little bit more now. And then the wall just came, and I hit it. Like, so it's really difficult. And I guess it's an old tire model that is hard to adapt to.
Well, your stat line now for the Iconic Series: 6 starts, 3 wins, 6 top 5s, 6 top 10s. So you're perfect there on the top 5s and top 10s. Not bad. Normally, it's a good bet when you get in these cars. You're going to be up front towards the end. And once again today, with the win here at Michigan, you prove that. Any shout outs, any other friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, thank you guys for everything you do on Mondays, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturdays. You're here basically every day. So, I mean, it's great for us, and we love it. And yeah, I really enjoy watching back whenever I can.
Oh, we love having you here. Congratulations on the win. Maybe we see you in the iconic car again for Milwaukee, but we know we will see you in the champ car come Milwaukee round as you try to defend your IndyCar championship in the VOR IndyCar Championship Series. But we'll see you next week. But best of luck for then. But congratulations on the great win today.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks.
Well, and that's going to do it here for us today on this Friday. Jesper Orman, like I said, it's kind of a sure bet when he shows up, no matter where he starts. He's going to be in the mix of it at the end. And there you hear us with the stat line, Clindy. 6 starts in the series, 6 top 5s, 6 top 10s, and 3 wins. It doesn't get much better than that, really.
Could have all wins, but no one's
right.
perfect, right?
Right, so exactly.
You could be really, really close.
Final thoughts on the day, and then we move off to the Mile Oval, the very flat old Mile Oval in Milwaukee next week.
Yeah, I was just really surprised with how impactful the undercut was today and how drivers got burned if they didn't get a caution at the right time. Jesper really played the strategy well and got really fortunate with both the timing of the yellows and the, I'll say, the anxiousness of his competitors, right? Liam following in and pitting exactly what he did, just like Jesper commented, probably hurt him in the long run, but he wanted to win the fight straight up, mano-y-mano. There's a lot of respect or a lot of valor in trying to win that way. So maybe Liam and Julian will go back and look at the tape and devise a different strategy for next week at Milwaukee.
Well, that's it for today. Once again, your podium for the Michigan 250 from Michigan International Speedway is Jesper Orman getting the win with Liam O'Sullivan. Again, the bridesmaid here at Michigan. He's going to get a win here one day. I guarantee it. He finishes second for the 3rd straight time. And Julian Altena not getting the win here, but Each time he has been here, he's been on the podium. He finishes third today in the race. Join Clindy and myself again next week for round 3 of season 5 of the VOR Iconic Series as the series heads to its first short oval of the season at Milwaukee. Coverage, as always, will start around 4 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 4:00 p.m. Eastern. Remember, it's an all-new season, and for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com, and just search out Velocity Online Racing. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support us with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below and let us know you thought of today's race and if you enjoyed today's coverage. Support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe. We're only 25 away. Now we're probably less than 25 away from 500 here on the VOR channel. Click that red button. Turn it gray. He could really use your membership and your subscription to this channel. And while you at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more of Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing programming, including action from their IR18 IndyCar Championship Series, which is next week. It's the whole weekend for the VOR IndyCar Series. The VOR League, Racing League, is the Iconic Series at Michigan, and the IR18 IndyCar Championship will be also Michigan. That's Milwaukee. That's all next week from the Mile. The VOR Iconic Series is brought to you by IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most out of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for 20-plus years, helping them navigate complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. To learn more, contact Alexander Bonney at alex@ifspfp.com. That's again, alex@ifspfp.com. And you'll find that email in the description. Use it today. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook, follow them on X and Instagram. Links are in the description. For business inquiries and to learn more about what Velocity Online Racing does, visit velocityonlineracing.com. Like them on Facebook or follow them on X. So for Clindy, everyone here at Velocity Online Racing, I'm Gary Godsoe saying all happy Friday, and thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Milwaukee for the next race of the Velocity Online Racing Iconic Series. See ya!